Uja has been. Let's do a little quick write up on him. So if you don't know, is an Indian American right wing shouldn't even exist. Political commentator, provocateur, all blah blah blah. In 2012, D'Souza released a documentary film 2016, Obama's American anti-Obama polemic, based on his 20 blah blah blah. He's one of the highest grossing America, Hillary's America, Death of a Nation, and Trump card. From 2010 to 2012, he was president of the King's College, a Christian school in New York City, until he resigned after an alleged adultery scandal. Wow. In 2014, D'Souza pleaded guilty in federal court to one felony charge of using a straw donor to make a legal campaign contribution to a 20. But he was sentenced to 8 months in a halfway house near his home in San Diego, 5 years probation. In 2018, D'Souza was issued a pardon by President Donald Trump, which is why he's currently sucking his dick right now, due to the promotion of conspiracy theories and falsehoods as well for their incendiary nature. He's, in other words, one of those really fringe people who got a pardon by Donald Trump, so now he's hard on the right-wing dick. Let's hear what he has to say about his slam dunk on LeBron James. Let's hear this poor man's effect on this.
I've been trying to think who should win the title of Hypocrite of the Week. A lot of candidates out there, but I think the title has to go to LeBron James. Recently, LeBron James tweeted, and he then quickly deleted it, a tweet in which he showed a picture of the police officer involved in the Ma'Khia Bryant shooting in Columbus, Ohio. And he goes, "You're next." Basically, you're the next Derek Chauvin, I guess. And then he goes, hashtag accountability. Now, what makes all this so despicable with LeBron James is that it is a complete inversion of the facts of what happened. The police officer was called, 911, rushed to the scene, there's a stabbing going on. He rushes to the scene. What does he see? We actually can watch what he sees on his body cam. And what he sees is a black girl, this turns out to be 16-year-old Ma'Khia Bryant, with a knife, lunging and stabbing at another black girl. So what does he do? What does he do? He draws his weapon and he fires again, and he kills her. Now, who's the real victim in this situation? Obviously, it's the girl who is being attacked. It's amazing how people have tried to cover up this simple fact. In fact, Valerie Jarrett tweets, she goes, "Oh no, this wasn't..."
He doesn't even do this convincingly, my God.
Knife fight. The policeman didn't have to get involved. No, it wasn't a knife fight. One girl with a knife was stabbing another girl who was unarmed. So this is what's going on. The Ma'Khia Bryant was the perpetrator, and the other girl was the victim. So how can LeBron James, in some twisted, perverted way, get this all upside down? According to LeBron James, the policeman is the perpetrator, and Ma'Khia Bryant is the victim. Now, how does he get to that type of reasoning? This is how he does it. He starts out with the assumption that the cop, because he's a white cop, the cop is the villain. So we start with the cop is bad. Now we turn to say, if the cop is bad, who is the cop shooting at? Ma'Khia Bryant. So she's the victim. She's the victim. What about the other girl? Well, she has to be kind of pushed off the stage, erased from history, pretend like she wasn't even there. So what's going on here is that you have LeBron, James, Black Lives Matter, but why is it the case that the black lives of criminals, of perpetrators, of people stabbing other people with a knife, why do those lives matter more?
Yeah, that's the fallacy. That's the big fallacy. I can point this out to you immediately. They're also forgetting that, like, law-abiding citizens who don't have a rap sheet also get killed by police. That's the problem. Is that they'll keep harping on, like, see, it was a criminal act. Like, again, I think that this should be a conversation more on non-lethal de-escalation, if not subduing, of criminal perpetrators who are actually in the act of hurting people, because then we'll go into the fact of how come people who have like massive like machine guns and massive, assault rifles and massive like arsenals that go out and shoot people, how come police don't see them with the gun and they'll say, "Scream, put the gun down," and when they do it, they swarm them and like handcuff them? How come that happens here, but like in visual attacks, like they don't go for the same like shoot a couple shots in the air. I will fire on you if you hurt this person. And like she goes, "Oh shit, I'm scared," or "Oh shit," like she going for the stab, drops the knife or whatever again. "All right, rush him, rush him, rush him." Everybody starts scattering away and she starts running. And let's say, her brother come down with a gun. There you fire, yeah. But like you've seen people literally like do suicide by cop, and even then there's massive de-escalation. So that the whole idea that Black Lives Matter is focusing somehow on criminals is bullshit. It just happens to be that y'all make these high profile things to prove your points, which creates a spin on how high profile it is. You're really bad at this, sir.
Then the life of the victim. Then the life of the little girl who's being stabbed. Doesn't her life matter too?
See, that's Black Lives Matter is not about the Yeah, he's trying to spin this into a community issue. How come Black lives don't matter to Black people unless they're being killed by a system? Because that's not the point of Black Lives Matter. If you don't address the systemic issues inside those communities, then that's not what we're talking about here. The fact that you don't and you continue to perpetuate these systems to go further will lead to more violence in inner city communities due to lack of resources, which forces people to fight in sometimes and most times violent manners in order to get what they need. That's that whole thing there. Nobody's saying that the girl who was about to get stabbed doesn't matter. Nobody's saying that.
Wasn't she the person that the policeman was intervening to protect? Wasn't he saving her life?
Yes, but how come he couldn't save her life without taking another life? Why is it that the option is kill people to save other people instead of like trying to save the maximum amount? That's the trolley issue.
This is the stunning hypocrisy, inversion, and distortion that we get from people like LeBron James, and he's not alone. He's not alone. But if you're going to do a slam dunk on hypocrisy, I'd have to say he's the man.
If I have to do a slam dunk on hypocrisy, I wonder why you chose to use slam dunk. I'm not watching the Candace Owens one. Sorry, guys.